Hello everybody. This is a short overview of a one-year-long master's program at University of Tartu that is called Disinformation and Societal Resilience. I am Murumaa-Mengel and I am an associate professor of media studies, but also I am your very first teacher in this program. So I have the pleasure of having you when you arrive here. So a familiar face if you should enroll here. As you can already guess from the name of this program, it's born out of a necessity. So when we ask ourselves, do we have a disinformation and societal resilience problem? The unfortunate answer is yes, we do. And unless you have been living in a really far away place or under a rock, you've probably noticed it. We are seeing words like post-truth society, populism, platform power, also some very weird, scary, and horrible things are happening all over the world. Whether it be a health crisis, a full-blown war, or just some questionable choices that the mega platforms of today are doing. We have reason to be worried about the state of our informational spaces. Even so far that when we talk about war these days, it's not just the thing that is happening on the battlegrounds, but it's also the thing that is happening in our heads. And that's why we have started with this program to call up to people who feel like we should do something about it. And it's not an easy do something about it, because it's not just a problem, but it's what's been referred to as a wicked problem. Which means that the problem is so complex. The problem of information disorder is so complex that we can't fix it just by doing that, just by fixing one thing. We have to fix or try to fix the problem by trying to do a lot of things simultaneously all over the world. And here is where we try to help. What can be done is probably something that many of you have asked yourselves, like, what can I do as a person? What can I do as a member of a group? What can I do as a member of a nationality? What can I do as an activist, as an expert, as a human being? And the good thing is that much can be done and is still to be done. But first, so that you won't just run out there and start doing things at random, you need to understand. You need to understand the problem of information disorders, disinformation, resilience, and resistance. So we have designed this course, this program, this get-together as a very interdisciplinary thing that we do. In everything that we take up in this program, we try to rely on different academic disciplines. For example, journalism studies, digital cultures and communication, crisis communication, micro-interventions and activism, and very heavily we rely on the notion of media and information literacies. But with media and information literacies, it has been clear that the whole focus of this concept has slowly shifted. It used to be a very educational sciences thing, media and information literacies, how it should be taught, children, teens, you know, all of that things. But recently, we have seen how media and information literacies has moved to psychological defense, a matter of defense of a person, of a society, of groups. So here we have a huge number of really cool people that we work with and that you will hopefully get to see as well. We have people from the media studies, we have people from semiotics, from crisis communication, from linguistics, from political sciences, lots and lots of guests, and you will get to meet them all because we have a very intensive, hands-on program that makes us hang out together a lot. So this will be your crowd, and many more to come, of course, as well. How do we approach the information disorder and fighting for cleaner, better informational spaces? We see it as because people work really well with metaphors. We came up with a metaphor of a cake because the topic is so horrible. We thought that a nice metaphor would be helpful here. So what do we do in this program, but also, at large? We try to understand how to restrict information manipulations coming from foreign agents, coming from polarized publics, coming from very different actors on a global, regional, national, and even in a tinier group-based schemes. Secondly, we try to figure out how to support the professional journalistic media, how to educate the audiences, how to expose influence activities in a way that it wouldn't cost us much and it wouldn't cost us in terms of having a boomerang effect. And also, we just want to kind of ground people, the actors, the experts, in some sort of order. Social order is something that is really dynamic. So things are changing every day. But without any order, we will have no trust. We will have much more fear. We will have much more anger. And the whole structures of societies can crumble. And also, the sixth layer of the anti-disinfo cake is international cooperation. And that's where you come in. Because as you saw, most of the lecturers, the professors are Estonians. So we need a lot of input from your specific countries. Because when we study, research, analyze different regimes, different moments in time, we can see that there are different nuances and details, but the grand narratives tend to stay the same in terms of propaganda, information manipulation waves, and so on. So what we want to do is to analyze these narratives from a multi-perspective view so that we will recognize what is similar, learn from others, and perhaps see the uniqueness of each context as well. We take a pracademic approach. So we try to put together practical things and academic groundwork. So we will have both in this course, in this program as well. And also, as all well thought out things, try to look at things from different levels. So do we. We try to look at things from a macro level, from a societal level, from a meso level, which means groups, institutions, organizations, but also from the micro level. You as a human being, what can you do? The central core concept of this program is resilience, which means that we as societies, as individuals, are able to recover from hardship. We will not just fall down and give up, but we will overcome the hardship. With resilience, of course, there's this parallel notion of resistance, because when a system is so dysfunctional that it's in dire need of change, sometimes resilience, just withstanding hardship, is not enough. We need to think of ways to resist peacefully, of course. Media and information literacies, if it's a foreign concept for you, then go and check it out. Some of the ground documents from UNESCO, for example. And also, being an Estonian, I can tell you that we have some things better than in other countries. We have a pretty thorough media and information literacies strategy. Estonia is pretty high in media literacy index, and we have some systems that can be duplicated into other contexts. And we are happy to share our experience. Our first group of students started this February, and they are right now working very diligently on their master's thesis. So I have some insights already how it has gone. We aim to have small study groups because we want to have this really intensive discussion-based learning format. And if you have 100 people, it's super hard to do. So this time we have people from higher education, civil society, health, educators, defense and military background, and public administration. And so far, our students have come from Georgia, Estonia, Armenia, Serbia, and USA. As you can see, many countries are not here, so you could be that one. And when we say intensive 1 year long experience, it is truly intensive. You can reach out to our alumni and ask them about the tempo and how, to get the vibe of this program. They will be happy to answer your questions. But from a person who was designing this program, this person's point of view, we wanted to make it really intensive in terms of you live and breathe these topics for a year. And also, not just live and breathe it, but you will make friends along the way, hopefully, at least. At least now we have the study group working as a really, really united team. This is a very brief overview of the studies, the names of the courses. As I mentioned, I will be the welcoming teacher for you, so I teach the Introduction to Disinformation and Influence activities, but also we have lots and lots of cool stuff for you to explore. See more on the website. How to apply? That information you already have, but just to make all the important information available to you, here are some contacts, but also how should you apply? Like, what is required of you? We score you on the basis of your motivation letters, which gives you about 50% of the final score. And then we will have individual interviews with each of the applicants, just to see you, get to know you a little bit more. Is this a good program? I have another yes slide coming up. Yes, it is. And how can I be so convinced in saying that? Because we asked around, we showed the blueprints of this program, of all of the courses, to a lot of really smart people. And we got very positive feedback on the timeliness of this program, of the increasing problem of information disorders, and we feel rather encouraged to continue with this program. If you have been reading about digital cultures, online communication, about internet studies, then the name Zizi Papacharisi is perhaps familiar to you. And this is something that I'm very proud of, because when Zizi Papacharisi says that it's enticing enough for a professor like me to want to sit in a few classes, that's high praise. So you are very welcome to seek out more information about our 1 year long master's program, Disinformation and Societal Resilience. and I hope to see you soon.